Hello, hello, hello. We are doing a replay analysis for Team No Fear, Giggle Schmack and company. Some of you guys, I think Green Fox, Giggle Schmack, and Confused, I've played with a little bit. I don't think the other two I have. So before I jump into this real quick, just so you know where I'm coming from, I've been playing Chair League since Season 1 and NGS the last 2 seasons. I've also casted like probably 110 now games of those same leagues of various levels. I've always myself played in kind of the middle leagues. So when we're looking at this, even if you ultimately disagree with some of the things I say, which is fine, I'm certainly learning myself, always learning at Heroes. The best way to approach this is just kind of giving you guys another perspective, an outside point of view, and different ways to discuss the replays when you go over it. Maybe things you didn't see in the heat of the moment. So Team League game, Sky Temple. I was looking at the comps here. Diablo Johanna, so that's a big beefy front line. I'm going to guess you guys actually use Johanna as the solo laner, although I suppose you could use Falstad as well. Genji can be a little bit rough into Falstad. He needs to be babysat a little bit because Falstad is so squishy, so you guys really, Green Fox and Seraph, need to make sure we're watching out for our backliners. And we're going to try to watch this from the perspective of our hero team here. So let's see if we can get over here. There we go. So
have to account for this unexpected weakness.
We'll speed it up just a little bit to get things moving along.
Four, one, let loose nature's wrath.
Anytime you got a Diablo, of course, in the early part of the game, he's not particularly burly, can actually be a little bit vulnerable. Falstad has already flied top, so you guys are actually going to use Falstad as the solo. So that means this 4-man should be really tough to kill, especially once Diablo stacks up. Now you guys need to be calling out to Falstad rotations. In particular, Genji's location. There you go. And that is why. As a team, that's when you guys are going to be venturing into competitive. That's one of the mainstays of communication you guys need to do with one another, is be aware. Like right now, 3 missing should be the call. 2 missing now. They need to be all accounted for, especially when you have Falstad in the solo lane, who is a little bit vulnerable to being ganked, and they have actually vision control here, which makes it even more difficult for Falstad to stay safe if he pushes up at all. So actually you guys are kind of using the Johanna as the solo, which is fine. Jo can solo great. She's got wave clear, hard to kill, hard to gank, some sustain. We're really not going to get into the meat and potatoes this match till a little bit later, so I'm going to move forward just a little bit. So that's the, I was just wondering if Giggle was going to push up. That's the right call. No reason to go forward. There's a lot of missing people. Great timing on the Merc camp. Should pop up at close to the same time as the objective if you can get some value out of those bottom camps. Actually, that was really well timed. I like the two tanks just basically ignoring each other and clearing the wave. On Sky Temple, if you're going to contest the mid temple, you want to avoid doing it with when the other team has vision at all costs if you can. So Falstad grabbing the vision is fantastic. Don't fight under that vision. Make the other team do it. It's great. Johanna not here, all missing. You guys could have a 5v4 here, but a really nice isolation on the Brightwing. This is all looking good. We're not going to go back on it. I did notice in the middle of all that, Genji was kind of right in here. Oh, I don't have my mouse showing. Let me see if I can fix that. Because this is one of the... I normally have my mouse turned off for the... for casting, but now we should have it on. There we go. Genji was kind of in here, right in the middle of your entire team, and he hit his deflect. Make sure you're calling out those really important cooldowns, those big cooldowns. And Genji's is certainly one of them. The Genji deflect, Johanna Iron Skin, Jaina Blizzard, all of those high value, long cooldowns. Make sure you guys are talking about those in your comms. I mean, once Genji hit that W in the middle of all of you, it should have been Genji, 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 Genji. Just turn on him. But all of that was great. Great stuff. You're going to get a nice little lead. Both temples. Now, you guys know you have numbers in the top lane. You could collapse on this hard. Brightwing is showing bottom, although she can telly up. Blaze, you know, is just mid. There you go. Bully him off. Don't overchase. Just steal the shots, though. Now, I'm going to go back just a scotch. And a lot of my recent playing experience is on tank. So I'll show something I think Johanna overstepped here just a little bit. And we'll show where. So right here. So Blaze coming in, looking on the flank. He wants to get on these backliners here. As Johanna, you got to have faith that Diablo will hold this line here. And Johanna needs to put herself in a position to where if Blaze decides to jet propulsion in, Johanna's gonna eat it, not the backline. So you watch right here. Now you want to be a little actually closer to here because if he went in now, he would actually get both of you guys. You want to be somewhere in here. I know you don't want to eat all that fire, but better Johanna eat all that fire than the backline get stepped up on. But I think you guys are calling back, so maybe that's the case, but Green Fox actually steps up right here. And this is what opens up the jet propulsion. Right there it is. And Johanna had Iron Skin actually, if you were back here and when you see, because Blaze has that wind up, right? It's not like an instantaneous thing. When you see him start to wind up, if you're positioned properly, you can actually proc your Iron Skin to eat the jet propulsion. If you're the only one that eats it, nothing bad's going to happen. So I think a little bit of an overstep there by the Joe, kind of opened up that flank where Jaina's running for her life. I think you guys probably get the counter. There you go. You guys turn it, so it turns out actually doing really well for you. 2 for 1, maybe 3 for 1. Big wave. You guys should be targeting this tower right here. No, don't. No, Falstad, no. I think you guys step up and get free damage on the tower there. Nobody soaking top lane right now, but a nice invasion call and doing it collectively. That's good with all 5. You guys should get Cassia. This should be a snap Cassia call. Yeah, yeah, nice. There you go. Nice. And the there you go. Nicely done. Recognizing the overstep. Now one person needs to be going top. And in a perfect world, you grab that upper right bruiser camp at the same time bottom objective is popping. Nice fly. So Johanna probably goes bottom when you guys are done here. Yep, cool. Good stuff. Early game is all you guys.
Soon they shall bask in my glory.
Yeah, you're right, Jake. And actually, he could have actually walked up to the top and grabbed the vision on the way up too. Ah. Now, depending on how aggressive you guys want to be, you have Gust, you have level 10. If they show a non-global top, you guys could rip boss real fast if you want to. Just depends on how confident you are in doing so. Actually, this is free boss. Arthas and Genji both showing top with level 10 advantage. If you guys jumped on that straight away, you could get boss here. And then you could get boss and the objective. Because right now you're actually trading 1 lane for 2. Okay, now you need to be calling out. They're probably all coming here. There's the Brightwing Telly. That was a great condemn, but Johanna's probably dead. Nice ring. Cleaning up both the Ring of Frost from the good flight coming down. Cups is good. That was a pretty good gust. Maybe? That army is wrecking you guys, though. Can't get the Arthas down. Alright, let's look at what went wrong there. Team fights, I think. Oh, no! No! Game crash, no! What I started to say was, team fights are one of the hardest things to look at, I think, and also kind of one of the hardest things to clean up because, you know, live and in-game, everything moves really fast. And sometimes it's hard to focus on the whole when you're focusing on yourself. Alright, luckily we weren't too far into this. Oh, and of course, every time you lead up the replay, you gotta turn the damn sound down.
To the
Oh, pretty close, pretty close. Let's go to about here. Oh, son of a... Well, we may have to cut this short if the game keeps crashing. So let's do this. All right, take 3. And it was like 8:37 or so. There we go. That should do it. Okay. All right. Here we go. We finally got to where we wanted to be. So, Johanna doing her job, anchoring. You guys know exactly where they're going to come through. I got to turn this thing freaking down again. I think what Green Fox is going to do here is going to do what any Johanna player's done, other than dance, but which is just underestimate. Actually, I think this is probably an early proc on Iron Skin, but just basically underestimate how quickly you're going to go. So there's you got a 5-man condemn, but then you're literally in the middle of the entire enemy team with no Iron Skin. So, so the question is, when you lose a hero very early in the fight, you guys very quickly have to decide if it's a fight that you can even take. There's going to be a big Ring of Frost hit. So once that Ring of Frost hits, I'm curious where the damage is going. Jaina blows everything she has and gets... So Jaina's cooldowns are done now. So Jaina has no more damage. I think right here is probably, if you guys hit a 4-man Ring of Frost and all of the Jaina damage, and you didn't get any kills off it with Johanna dead, I think this is probably the point at which you disengage, right about here. If you didn't get them with that, you're probably not going to get them. And Arthas is just Army of the Dead in the middle of everybody. And that was tough because you guys were so close to cleaning that up with a big time Ring of Frost there. And actually, I'm looking at Giggleshmack. Giggleshmack went the W build, which is which is fine, but it's sustained damage into sustained healing. Also, Q build you can stack pretty easily with the Blaze Arsa Arthas frontline. I would have preferred the Q build myself. Now, no fall stat in all of this. That has to be called out. That is... There was a lot of resources committed to ultimately a fight that you guys didn't really want to take. So, the first issue was the split rotation. You had half of the team rotate through the boss pit, and Diablo rotated solo bottom and then got caught out. Once Diablo got caught out, you guys invested a lot of resources, Cups and Ring of Frost in particular. I think APOC was in there as well. Basically sinking all of those cooldowns into a 5v4 team fight that you were not very likely to win. And also a Diablo that has no souls. That's the other issue as well. So this fort is gone. I don't know if flight was on cooldown. So if flight is on cooldown and you can't get down there, that needs to be called out by the Falstad player. And if it's available, you guys need to call for that fly down, or just not take that. I mean, it's kind of one of the things you want to try to avoid doing at all costs, if you can, is taking fights while outnumbered. They could easily be on the boss here, by the way. You guys are showing largely on the map. They know where 3 of you are, 4 of you are. They just want a team fight. They haven't been doing anything for a long time. Blessed Shield misses. That's unfortunate. Nice. That's all great. There's a little bit of a split focus here because Giggleshmack is making sure Genji doesn't just kind of go crazy, which I think was fine, but you guys were kind of fighting on 2 fronts. Did a real nice job, though. And those are the kind of fights, the longer ones, that the W build on the Falstad's going to get a little more value. When the fights kind of go and they can just let that thing hit them over and over and over again.
Keep up your efforts, healer.
Ballsy. That's very ballsy. Barrel rolling in there with no vision. It's very aggressive. And they haven't shown in a while. I wonder where in the world they are. There we go. Arthas showing bottom. I mean, you guys don't have to contest this bottom. You have push top. The 4 of you could go push mid while Falstad pushes top. Trade out 2 lanes for 1 if you want to. But once again, getting engaged upon without Falstad here, you guys got to be a little more proactive about making sure your numbers are there. He shouldn't be arriving midway through the fight. You guys should be choosing when to take that fight and using that flight down here. Look at how long before Falstad even gets here. Still not here. This is all a 5v4. Still not here. 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 And there's nothing wrong with leaving him a lane. Like, in this case, he should have probably just stayed top, pushed out top. But you guys got to be deciding, are we leaving Falstad here and then posturing and making sure you don't get hard engaged upon like that. There's a way to kind of posture around an enemy team to allow split soaking, but not allowing yourself to get hard engaged upon. They're probably on your Siege Giant's bottom right now, too.
No! Our fort has fallen. find something else to fight over. Come on, we've got this!
With Blaze showing top, I think you guys should be trying to find them bottom. If they're down here, you want to find them knowing Blaze is showing top. Also, Falstad shouldn't be the one checking up here. If they were pushing over here, you're in trouble. But this is a great move, just taking this bottom fort for free. You guys have time to take this and go back. Nice. Nice response. Okay. This, though, let's go back just a little bit. No! Son of a... I have literally never had this program crash 4 times in a row, especially at the end of the game. It's going to be pretty frustrating. End-ish of the game.
I would. Hero slain. Blue team has destroyed a fort.
I was going to say that's close-ish to where we were before. Obviously, I just cannot rewind the game because that's the second or third time that I've done that this has been an issue. Oh, yeah. All right, I'm going to have to do something real quick. We'll be back. We'll finish this up. Apologies. Alright, apparently the game crashed and then needed to re-update, which was bizarre. But we'll try one more time.
I would prepare for you. The temple of...
Choose a talent. Choose a talent. First love. Their end has come. Choose a talent. Choose a talent. To the coffin.
I must retreat, friend.
witnessed that one.
Nicely done.
The night comes.
Choose a talent. Our enemy has destroyed a fort. We've lost a fort. Choose a talent.
Let's befriend these mercenaries.
No! Our fort has fallen.
I love it! It's so nifty!
Your healing is serviceable.
That's it!
I must pull back for now.
Alright, so now we're finally finally at the point that I wanted to get to. So the tanks, your job is to protect the back line and set up the back line for kills, among other things. So Johanna and Diablo are going to step up pretty far forward, and you want to really be aware of where your damage is and where it's coming from. So Falstad's still at base, Jaina not close enough to follow up on anything. So stepping up, trying to zone them away. I mean, this is okay if you want to chase them off the structures, but you really don't want to burn any of your engagement cooldowns right now with the damage so far away from where the tanks are. So, see, like Falstad not close enough to follow up on the APOC right here. Jaina, borderline close enough to maybe get a ring out of this. There she does. All right, great. But I think just a little bit more patience out of the front line there would have been well served. I hope we're communicating those gusts to one another. So this just turns into a massive bloodbath. I think Falstad would have been better served here with his damage in the back line rather than the gust. But you guys did save the keep. And the entire time, you've got Mercs getting value in the bottom. But a 3 for 2. You guys are about even in level. In a perfect world, you hopefully split this objective, as you will not be up in time to have even numbers. Like with Blaze showing, when you guys get Johanna and Diablo up, you could make a play at the top keep if you wanted to. I don't like the call of letting them just both go, though. I mean, Jaina will be up. Nobody has... So I think you guys got to get this top temple, and Falstad is out of flight range to fly up there. If you contest mid, he's close to flight range. It looks like you guys are a little indecisive. I'm not quite sure. Okay, so if you go to get top, Falstad is not within fly range. So you're putting yourself in a situation to take another 5v4. Oh, wait, you guys are waiting for him to get in fly range. That's great. Now comes the fly. Perfect. This is what you guys weren't doing early, letting Falstad get in position. That's fantastic. Genji is wrecking Jaina right now, though. You do get the Cassia. Well done. Nice use of the cups to give Jaina confidence against the Genjo. Howza. I kind of want to rewind that, but I'm afraid it'll crash again. I don't want to do that. In live time, it looks like... I mean, Arthas and Blaze can soak up a lot of damage, and it looks like that's where a lot of the damage went. Whereas Genji can get his damage to the backline a little bit easier.
Choose a... We've lost the field.
Just in time. Just in time. I assume this is a bribe down here. Nice. Now, Falstad can stay down there until he doesn't know where they are, but you have to be careful of the Genji. If the Genji is not showing here on the top, Falstad's got to be really careful. Nice move to protect this fort. It's got a big old bullseye on it with how low it is. As does Boss. I mean, they're probably not bossing without Cassia, but I think you do gotta poke your head down here. And they're either upper left or doing the same thing you guys are doing.
I must retreat, friend.
Now, also keep in mind, if you guys fight over boss, they do not have... By the way, look right here. Yeah, there you go. Nice, nice, nice. Good catch. Nice Blessed Shield. You'll need the follow-up. See, the issue there was the same thing top, but on a bigger scale. It was a great Blessed Shield. Diablo went in, but the damage just wasn't close enough to do anything. You guys have Falstad, goaltending the top lane because there's Kata's putting there, but that was an ultimate used for an engage when there was no damage in place to follow up. Ring of Frost doesn't catch anybody. Remember, this is continuous bounce. Lightning Bolt at 20.
Keep up your efforts, healer.
Okay, so you know they're not bossing. You guys are going to have pressure starting to build in the top lane here pretty quick.
That feels much better.
We've lost the key.
Now, look at Jaina really far back again. Look at when the team fight starts. Look at how far Jaina was way up here. Nice, nice. I hope you guys clean this up. You got to spread out for that ball lightning. There you go. Diablo's here. Clean up that Arthas.
That feels much better.
Nope. Boss. 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 Insta-boss. 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 This is a minute 21 boss. You guys have 30 seconds.
The magic
to do this. You insta-boss, and then Falstad can go clean up if you need to, or Johanna.
That feels much better.
This is like 20 wasted seconds. Now they'll be up in time to contest. Also, a little tip, you can actually, if you guys would have been over here initially, the little tornado would have actually spawned on this side, and then you move back over to the correct, because these guys are in the right spot for when the other team engages. You want the squishies on the safe side and the tanks on the front side. But initially, if you guys proc the tornado on this side, you can actually use it for your own while everyone else rotates safely. I don't think you use that iron skin there. You know they're going to invade. You want it for the team fight. Surprised. Now remember, Jaina's not there. All 5 up. You guys be really careful. It looks like you're sending Falstad back. If this is my call, I have Jake, you're still here. We can bounce this around a little. I mean, 2, almost 3 keeps down. I think at this point you have to go for the win, because if this game keeps going, you're just going to be at a disadvantage longer and longer and longer. And this is such a large map that Falstad can't easily fly back into the action. Whew. 1 Kata. The Katas haven't really built up yet. This is a really tough division, honestly. Jake, call is all in to end the game, bottom, or send someone back. I'm thinking with all in, bottom. That's my vote. But I can see the argument. Dang, yeah, all in, bottom. If you don't end the game here, you guys have 2, basically 3 keeps down. They would only have 1 keep down. You're going to be goaltending it at a disadvantage the entire rest of the game. Yeah. Yeah. Yep. So I don't think Falstad backs. I think you guys all in, boss. Basically, you need to decide as a team that the game is ending one way or the other right now with this boss. Now, if you guys only had 1 keep down and 2 keeps up, you can kind of play for the long game should you choose to, but you're so far down structurally, you don't want this game to continue because you're at such a disadvantage. And also, if this was a smaller map where Falstad could clear and fly in quickly, maybe you can do it really fast too, but Sky Temple's so big, he can't fly from keep to where you guys are at. He's got to walk halfway, then fly. You guys just burned bunker, that's good. But Falstad... Oh, the other thing too. Falstad isn't even on Q build. He can't clear these efficiently anyway. All the more reason for Falstad needs to be in this 5-man push. And because you guys are fighting 5v4, you're going to lose. Even with the boss. So, I mean, that would have been a core race. If you would have 5-man in it, it would have been a core race. But I think the 5-man all in was the call. I mean, although, you know, looking at this right now, this was with Falstad clearing. You guys are already at 49%. Whew. Man, that's tight. I really do get the argument both ways. My call, if I'm the shot caller in the moment, is we end with boss and we stay with that plan. You make the game end one way or the other. Because look, here's what happened. Like, you guys did save the core and you did get 1 keep, but now your core is at 44%. You're down. You have 2 lanes pushing with katas. Like, how can you effectively do anything else the rest of this game? You know, they can just trade temples because theirs are going to be directly on core here in a minute. Now your 3 keeps down. Now you guys have to collapse top here. I mean, the game's over, actually. It doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, at that point, you guys were in a rock and a hard place. But I think if you all in the bottom with the boss 5, especially with Gust, you have a shot to win the game. If you don't, with double temples proccing after that, you don't have a chance to win the game. So you went from a, I don't know, 50-50 shot to win if you 5-man push with boss to a significantly lesser, almost 0 chance to win without. Before that point, also, actually, even before the boss push itself, if I were to go back, I said insta-boss call, you guys wasted 20 seconds. Imagine if you went straight to the boss and had that extra 20 seconds before they spawned, before these temples, before the lane pressure built up. If you would have insta-bossed and then 5-manned with the boss, you wouldn't have had the lane pressure built up top and bottom. They would have just been spawning. So I think if you would have insta-bossed and 5-manned with it, you would have had a better chance to winning. Prior to that, there were 2 or 3 fights that you guys either chose to take outnumbered or allowed the other team to force upon you an outnumbered team fight. And the utilization of the Falstad fly in those team fights needs to be better. There really isn't a situation in this game where you guys should have been fighting 5v4. I don't think. So yeah. That's it. Thanks for hanging out, guys. I'm going to get some food. Thanks for hanging out through all of the random Blizzard stuff. And have a good night, everyone.